We often hear the phrase "let it go," but in our minds, it can sound confusingly similar to give up. See, one path seems to promise freedom and peace, while the other feels like a continuation of struggle, a surrender to defeat. This confusion is common, but the distinction between these two concepts is one of the most vital in the Buddhist path to a more easeful life. The Buddha taught that attachment is like holding a burning rope. The longer you grip it, the more it sears your flesh. From this perspective, letting go isn't an act of angry resignation where you throw the rope away in frustration. It is a moment of wisdom and self-compassion. It is simply choosing to open your hand because you finally recognize that the rope is burning you. What is letting go? In Buddhism, letting go is an active, wise, and compassionate act of release. It is not passivity, but a courageous choice rooted in a deep understanding of reality. It is a form of non-attachment and upadana, which means appreciating life fully, its joys and its sorrows, without clinging to the past or anxiously grasping for a specific future. It is an active choice that requires virya, a courageous and persistent energy, a quiet strength, and a steady resolve to stop fighting against the truth of the present moment. As the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. It is the recognition that our inner peace does not have to depend on external conditions. What is giving up? Giving up is a form of passive resignation, often rooted in aversion, frustration, or a sense of defeat. It is not a release from suffering, but a collapse into it. It is still a form of attachment. When we give up, we are often still clinging to the desire for a different outcome, but we feel hopeless about our ability to achieve it. The struggle continues internally. It is a reaction, not a conscious choice. It can manifest as collapsing into laziness or deciding to continue a cycle of unhappiness out of sheer frustration, collapsing with a sense of what's the use. Core distinctions at a glance. Let me make this simple. There's a big difference between letting go and giving up. Letting go is a conscious choice. It comes from wisdom. It comes from compassion. It's the moment you realize you don't need a specific outcome just to be at peace. Giving up is different. Giving up is a reaction. It usually comes from frustration or hopelessness. It's when you believe the outcome you were attached to is no longer possible, and the motivation matters. When you let go, you're moving toward freedom from suffering. You're surrendering to the truth of what's happening right now. When you give up, you are usually trying to escape uncomfortable feelings. And that escape is just another form of craving. Even effort looks different. Letting go doesn't mean stopping. It means using effort wisely, like tuning an instrument, not too tight, not too loose. Giving up, on the other hand, either looks like collapse or endless overstriving until you burn out, and the outcomes speak for themselves. Letting go leads to clarity, to inner peace, to freedom. Giving up leaves behind resentment, bitterness, and a sense that something inside is still unresolved. These ideas give us a basic understanding, but to really feel the difference, it helps to see it in action. And there's a classic Buddhist story that shows distinction in a very simple, human way. A tale of two monks. Seeing the difference in practice, a senior monk and a junior monk were traveling together and came to a river with a strong current. At the river's edge, a young woman was waiting, unable to cross on her own. Without a word, the senior monk picked her up, carried her across the river, and set her down gently on the other side. She went on her way, and the monks continued their journey. For hours, the junior monk was visibly troubled, stewing in silence. Finally, unable to contain himself any longer, he burst out, "Brother, Our vows strictly forbid us to have any contact with women. How could you carry that woman across the river? You have broken your vows." The senior monk looked at him calmly and replied, "I set her down hours ago at the river's edge. Are you still carrying her?" This simple story reveals the profound difference between acting in the moment and clinging to the past. The senior monk represents letting go. He acted out of compassion, and once the moment had passed, he released it completely. He didn't replay it. He didn't carry it with him. He did what was needed and then returned his full attention to the present moment. That's why his mind remained light, because he never held on to what was already over. The junior monk represents attachment, holding on. Even though he had walked miles away from the river, mentally he was still there. He was still carrying the woman, not on his back, but in his mind. His suffering did not come from what happened, but from his clinging to rigid rules instead of responding with compassion in the moment. And that clinging became the weight that disturbed his peace long after the event had ended. This is what attachment does. It makes us suffer over things that are already in the past. Why we suffer? The cost of holding on. The Buddha taught that the root cause of suffering is upadana, a term that translates to attachment, clinging, or craving. Most of our pain comes not from life's events themselves, but from the gap between knowing something in our minds and truly seeing it in our hearts. We may intellectually accept that life is impermanent, but our suffering comes from a failure to realize this truth on a deeper level. It is this gap that causes our internal resistance, our clinging to how we think things should be rather than accepting them as they are. This clinging takes many forms in our daily lives. Here are three of the most common: holding on to past events and old stories. We replay arguments, second-guess decisions, and rehearse conversations from years ago, allowing the ghosts of the past to define our present reality. Clinging to outcomes. We create immense anxiety by believing that if we just worry, plan, and control enough, we can force the go our way, needing to be understood. We exhaust ourselves trying to justify our choices and make others see our perspective, creating suffering from a need for external validation. This habit of holding on is deeply ingrained, but letting go is a skill one that can be cultivated with practice. How to practice letting go? A path to inner freedom. Letting go is not something you can achieve through force. As one Buddhist teaching points out, you cannot fight craving with more craving. Instead, it is a skill that emerges from the gentle and consistent practices of mindfulness and equanimity. Step 1. The foundation of mindfulness, sati. Mindfulness is the simple yet profound practice of arriving fully in the present moment. It involves observing your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations as they arise, without judgment or attachment. It is the act of seeing what is here right now, clearly and kindly. Step 2. The wisdom of equanimity, upeksha. Equanimity is a spacious acceptance of whatever arises in your mind and in the world. It is the ability to meet pleasant and unpleasant experiences with a balanced and peaceful heart. This does not mean becoming unfeeling. Rather, it is the cultivation of a wise and intelligent relationship with our feelings, allowing us to experience both pleasant and unpleasant sensations without being controlled by them. The practice is not to fight the storms of emotion, but to change your relationship to them. You learn to be the sky, not the storm. You can watch the clouds of thought and emotion pass through the vast sky of your awareness without believing that you are the clouds. Step 3. A simple practice to start now. This practice can be done anytime you feel overwhelmed by a difficult thought or emotion. First, pause. When a difficult thought or emotion arises, simply stop what you are doing. Then breathe. Take a conscious breath, feeling the air enter and leave your body. Next, notice where the emotion lives in your body. Is there a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, tension in your shoulders? Then acknowledge, gently name the feeling without judgment. Hey, this is anxiety. This is sadness. This simple act of naming creates space between you and the emotion. Finally, return. Gently bring your attention back to the sensation of your breath and the reality of the present moment. These practices are simple, but they are not always easy. As we begin to cultivate this skill, many questions naturally arise. Common questions. Here are some common questions about letting go, along with answers drawn from Buddhist wisdom. Does letting go mean I become passive or stop caring? Not at all. The goal is the middle way, a path of balance between extremes. The Buddha compared it to tuning a stringed instrument. If the string is too tight or excessive striving, it breaks. If it's too loose or laziness, it makes no sound. Letting go is about finding that wise balance of engaged, compassionate action and a spacious acceptance of what you cannot control. Is it okay to feel happy if others are suffering? Yes. His Holiness the Dalai Lama explains that an activist driven by anger and despair won't last long, they will burn out. But an activist driven by deep compassion keeps going without fantasy expectations. Working to cultivate contentment and peace in your own mind does not make you less effective at helping others. It makes you more resilient, more compassionate, and more capable of offering sustainable help to the world. Is non-attachment the same as being cold and emotionally detached from others? No. In fact, this is one of the most common misunderstandings of the path. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh taught that true non-attachment allows you to love someone more completely because it is the opposite of indifference. Possessive, clinging love is rooted in our own needs and fears. Non-attachment is the spaciousness that allows true love, which is selfless and unconditional, to flourish. He taught that true love is made of 4 essential qualities, which cannot exist when we are clinging. Loving kindness. This is the intention and capacity to offer joy and happiness. It requires listening deeply to understand what another person truly needs, rather than offering what our ego wants to give. Compassion. This is the ability to share in the suffering of others to lighten their burden. It is a deep involvement in another's pain, not a detached observation of it. Joy. This is selfless joy in the happiness of others. When we are free from attachment, we can celebrate another's good fortune without any sense of competition or wanting it for ourselves. Equanimity. This is the letting go aspect of love, a spacious, non-possessive acceptance. It means loving someone without trying to put them in your pocket. You see the whole picture, not just your side of it, allowing both yourself and the other person the freedom to be. When you let go of clinging, what remains is not a void, but the presence of these 4 profound qualities. This is the foundation of true love. Conclusion: the freedom of an open hand. Giving up is a clenched fist of defeat and frustration, a sign that we are still attached to a fight we feel we have lost. Letting go, however, is an open hand of freedom and acceptance. It is the recognition that peace is not found in winning the struggle, but in realizing we no longer need to struggle. Ultimately, letting go is not a loss of something valuable. It is a return to yourself, a return to the spacious, peaceful awareness that was there all along, underneath the layers of clinging and striving. Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I'll see you again